Hello everyone, my name is Ruth, and today I want to speak about gender equity in startups. However, to start us off, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm currently a CEO in training at West Africa based in Accra, Ghana. My background is telecommunication engineering. However, I got into data science and machine learning in the later part of my career, and I'm also a community leader. I champion for anything women related, gender related, inclusion related in the data science field and machine learning. Now, I'm sure we are all wondering what is this about gender equity? Just completing the International Women's Month, these are some of the powerful quotes that I found online about speaking on gender inclusiveness. So Hope said, a gender inclusive tech ecosystem promotes women as capital allocators and value creators. My journey so far into the startup ecosystem has been great, but I did not fail to notice that women are seriously left out in the sectors of investments, being part of VCs, and also being part of the decision-making teams as founders. Um, Guerra said, architects of our future should be representatives of those who are building for this. It's important we not only empower women to participate, lead, and influence, but also folks from underrepresented backgrounds. These are people who probably do not share the same what can I say, the same privileges as we do, be it based on their color, be it based on their disabilities. Edward Bassis said a gender inclusive world involves creating a culture where everyone feels safe and supported, where they can speak and be heard, and where everyone feels valued for who they are. And this is not something only a handful of people can do. It will take all of us to create a world like that. And this is exactly what made me speak about this, and especially in the startup scene, especially here in Africa and in other parts of the world. We've seen a lot of growth in the sector, a lot of money coming in and out of the continent, and money exchanging hands through VCs, through investments, through angel investment. I want to feel a gender inclusive. I want to feel the gender inclusivity, not only for women, but also for people from underrepresented backgrounds. Now, I'm sure you're all wondering, how can we ensure gender equity in tech startups? Here are a couple of talking points that I'll take you through. So, the first thing is learn about biases women face at work. Exactly, not, pardon me, but when I say women, I don't want to be very gender based, but also include people from underrepresented communities. So learn about the biases that they kind of face in the workplace. Is it the race? Is it parent, depending on the number of children? Is it that they are disabled? Is it that their skills are not sufficient enough? Learn about all these things. And after that, develop a gender inclusive recruitment strategy. Your recruitment strategy should focus on attracting a diverse pool of applicants, including women and also people from underrepresented backgrounds. This could involve partnering with organizations that support women entrepreneurs, using inclusive language also in your marketing materials, and actively seeking out women led communities, reaching out to these partnerships to offer targeted support, especially to women, these who may have different needs and challenges than their male counterparts. Also, from let's say people with disabilities, they might have different challenges compared to the other people. So, it's important to offer targeted support that addresses their specific needs. This could come in many ways, involved offering mentorship from successful women, exposing them to opportunities that they really didn't know existed. Not only thinking locally, expand their thinking to think global, to think more broadly. Um, Again, in the inclusive language and imagery, currently, even in machine learning, and I'm sure we've all seen this bias being talked about all over the internet. When you Google certain words, let's say a wedding, you're mostly prompted by Western wedding choices, but nothing comes up of a black bride wearing a traditional African, let's say, attire. Why? Because that is what the machines were trained on. So my purpose and my call for all of us is to take part in curating models, in collecting data, in annotating data that actually reflects where we're from, which reflects what you want to see on the internet. I feel like we leave it to the big Googles and the big companies to do this, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to us. Because if we contribute one person at a time, then you see the algorithm learn, you see the machine learn broadly because we're giving it a range of data, a variety of data. So use inclusive language and imagery that appeals to a diverse audience. So this means also avoiding gendered language and images that may alienate potential female candidates and participants. Also involving people from under, make sure whatever you use is very inclusive. The branding around your company, the branding around your tech startup, let it be as inclusive as possible. Which message are you communicating? Is it just a certain gender dominated field? No. Are there gender roles specific for women? No. We do not accommodate such biases in the current world right now. And if we do not speak about this actively, I feel that that's how we end up feeling left out. On outreach and partnerships, we want to work with organizations that support women entrepreneurs to expand your outreach and attract more female participation. So this may include partnering with women-led business groups, women-focused accelerators and incubators, and other relevant organizations because you have it's I know it's more work, but you have to get to where the women are. We are very comfortable working with fellow women. Like a friend of mine recently told me that if they were to speak on an issue, they would speak on an issue that more women actually speak about. So is it finance? Are more women speaking about that? Go find the women where they are. Go find your target audience where they are because that is what you do. In another world, you can become or seek out a mentor, become one, seek out one, especially here in Africa. We're always looking for people to look up to. We are always looking for people who we aim to be, we aspire to become. So I learned this from quite a young age. Back when my home is back in Nairobi, Kenya, I grew up in the village and I always admired my mom because I saw how big the big things she did and how she could change lives. However, when she exposed me to more opportunities, I realized, wow, there are more women, more are doing more things, more powerful things, working in boardrooms, making decisions. And just not on my mom is my main role model, but not only her, but also looking at other women aspire to be the vice president of the US. I mean, it gives you pride to hold on to that and work towards that goal. So I cannot really underestimate the power of mentorship. So I always aim to become or seek out to be one. So the experienced women in the tech industry who can mentor and provide guidance to younger women who are just starting out. So this can help build a very supportive community and provide a safe space for women to share their experiences and challenges because we've seen a lot of like the hashtag Me Too movement. If women did not speak up, and if these women spoke up and they did not have someone who could support them, voice support their voice and let it not just be shut down, I feel we'd still be very much behind. We still see a lot of cases of domestic violence, gender-based violence among women. My aim is to my hope and dream is one day to live in a world where women are actually believed when they say the first time and no one encouraging them just to give it a second chance. I mean, there's so many social issues we overlook or we are not able to speak out on because we fear who's going to believe me, who's going to be on my side. But then if we as women, we as people from underrepresented communities, from the Latino, from the African, any community, if we come together, support each other, no matter what, we can be the women investors that we need. I want to see angel investment more from women, more women taking a seat at the VC tables because as a startup founder right now, I want to walk in a room and not feel intimidated by the amount of testosterone in the place. I want to see women who actually champion for me. I want to see human recruitment agents who actually vouch for more women in the workplace. Some of the policies that we are currently talking about, even thinking about them myself as a CEO, I mean, I want policies that actually support women to thrive, to open up their creativity in the workplace, not for them to feel timid or shy or scared to voice out their point of views. It's not a battle against the male or the strong, but we want to create an equity that if I want to give you an opportunity, then I know that that opportunity fits your current situation. And not that I want to dim down the opportunity to just fit you, but I want to make sure that you're as scalable and as elastic as possible. So focusing on expanding your personal and professional networks. I feel like connecting with people on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for the organizers of the IoT Day, again, reaching out to me for this day. If it was not through the power of networking on LinkedIn, organizing and attending events like this, or even just ask friends and colleagues for introductions where needed, because I thrive. I know personally getting to where I am, even the talk that I'm giving right now, I had my friend really supported me, a fellow woman, in knowing that such things, such talks are needed, especially in the startup ecosystem. Women in tech industry can network with each other to build relationships and share ideas. This can help create a sense of community and provide opportunities for collaboration. At times, women we want to hold back to our ideas. No, speak them out. You never know who's out there listening. You never know our allies. They might be able to fuel your dream, to fuel your ambitions in the right direction. So lend your time and knowledge. Women, we can work together to provide training and education for each other on topics such as coding, programming, business development, communication development, and this can help build a strong foundation for women all over the world, not only Africa, but all places. Because one thing we said, Ness, is that we want to become globally successful. And I cannot become globally successful if my eyes are only looking within Ghana, if my eyes are only looking within Kenya. I want to look beyond. I want to dream beyond. I want to dream of a startup coming up and touching lives in different parts of the world, in the North Pole, in the South Pole. And I believe if such if we create such an environment for all of us to thrive, I know that this can go far. I've been looking at a couple of women-led startups, especially in the finance sector, and I see them thriving. And like the ones that are always faced with, what can I say, issues and uh, gender-sensitive bias. I mean, there's a certain aura we bring and certain level-headedness we bring to to the place. So I urge women, if it's entrepreneurship, take it up and do it to the best of your capability. And I might start becoming a little bit too emotional, but again, to reiterate on one of my favorite quotes from before, a gender inclusive tech ecosystem promotes women both as capital allocators, investors, and value creators. I hope that we all get to create value from one woman to another. And once again, I hope that we get to live in a world that we no longer have to talk about gender equity because we have normalized it and it's part of our daily life, be it on maternity leave basis, be it on menstrual leave basis, in any sector that really affects women. Let's come together and actually vouch for our own rights because no one else is going to do it. Thank you so much, and I hope to see a gender equity tech ecosystem. Thank you.